Let's get it off the bat, gang. Wishmaster is a great franchise.
Yeah, it's one of those that I'm happy that we cover. I'm glad that it didn't take any downturns in 3 and 4.
No downturns whatsoever. These are 4 stone cold classics in a row. I'm in love. Thank you to our patron Michael Hartley, who has wrested me from the arms of doldrumage. And, no offense, Padavano, but those Children of the Corn movies were getting me down. And I was like almost trying to reconfigure how I watch movies for the podcast. Maybe I shouldn't watch them at work. Maybe I gotta watch them in a row, get it over with. I don't know. Something's gotta give here. But now watching these Wishmaster movies, I'm like, oh, right. When movies are enjoyable, you enjoy them.
Yeah, interesting. I feel like we may differ on these movies. They are preferable to Children of the Corn, but I feel like that's a little bit like saying it's preferable to have your eyes burnt out with battery acid as opposed to regular acid. So I'm not really sure if we're going to be on the same page here.
We're not.
Yeah. I just don't. I don't know.
You're not a fan of the gin?
I mean,
I gotta tell you, the gin last week in those 2 movies was played by Andrew Divoff, the great Andrew Divoff.
Yes.
And this week we're saying goodbye to him and saying hello to new gins. And I gotta say, I really thought this would take me down. No, I'll take as many gins as you got to throw at me.
Well, they had different ones, that's for sure. They all had varying
facial deformities.
Facial deformities. Varying takes on the gin. We got to see Sean Connery's son.
I didn't know that while I was watching the movie. Only afterwards, when I saw someone on Letterboxd talk about it.
I saw that same thing.
Yeah.
But I saw that during the movie because it was hard to stay focused, so I did wander a little bit.
Jason Connery, come on. This is the Chet Hayes of the Connery clan.
Oh, my boy. He's got, but, you got to admit, he's got the Connery looks.
He doesn't have the Connery looks. He's not good looking. This fucking ginger-bearded motherfucker.
I was shocked,
man. I was blown away that he was the lead of this movie because he's so ugly.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that he was the spawn of Sean Connery. I guess, it just shows to go, yeah. It doesn't always matter who your parents are. You're not going to always look like that.
I stuck my dick in some ginger trolls in my day.
Yeah, I think it was from his first marriage, the one where he...
I feel like Sean Connery fucked the leprechaun from Leprechaun.
Depending on who's in the suit, if it was Holly Golightly, he certainly gave it a shot.
No, Warwick Davis.
Shag Count.
Oh, I remember the Shag Count. We got to bring that shit back.
Well, we got to do Bond again.
I know. Man. We really got to do Bond.
It's time.
It's so past time.
It's way past time, yeah. I'll have to do a new Shag Count in a Roger Moore voice, though.
Oh, you got to come up with a Roger Moore. Although maybe it should just always be the Sean Connery voice.
It's true. It's true. You could do that, yeah.
Henry, Wishmaster 3, Beyond the Gates of Hell.
That it is. Although, however, in the UK, it's known as Wishmaster 3 Devilstone.
I did see that. What is that? Are the BBC a little tough on the word hell being in titles, maybe?
I feel like it's more... it's funny. You went there, I went to America thinking Devilstone, people, it's kind of like Sorcerer's thing.
No, come on. They throw the word devil in anything.
Yeah, but Devil's Stone, they needed something more horror-y, like Beyond the Gates of Hell. It doesn't matter how wordy it is. You know us. We need stuff to be very... I guess.
I think they wanted it to sound schlocky, because this is real, late-night premium cable television.
This and 4 really reminded me that I really thought at certain points I was watching softcore porn.
That's what it is. You were, Henry.
Yeah, it has the vibe. It has the even.
It doesn't have the vibe. It is that.
Yeah, it's true.
It's exactly what it
Everything,
is.
right? Like the music, the
The
camera, even
acting.
the filters on the camera,
Oh,
the
very soft filters.
very soft.
Mhm.
Yes. It's porn. It's softcore porn. So that was a milestone, I guess. If you look at it like that, we've never really covered softcore porn.
Yes, we have. Of course we have, Henry. We covered another 9.5 weeks.
Yeah, but that still had an
Oh,
actual
stop
star.
it, Henry.
It still had one star. In
These movies have stars in them. I recognized people in both of these movies.
Well, you would, because they were in a lot of TV shows. So yeah,
That's
I don't know if
right.
I'd use the word star, but
They're casting like legitimate TV actors. Like this isn't just like where did you find this Canadian? Like
Okay.
in these softcore porn movies that we watched, like there are actors that have had careers acting.
Yeah. I did wonder when I looked at a lot of their resumes, I was kind of wondering, like, where did this fit in? Because it just didn't.
Yeah, like do they get asked about it much, do you think?
I don't know. I feel like there's got to be, obviously, there's a base that does ask them, stop them in the street and be like, oh my God, I loved you in Wishmaster 3. You're amazing. And then it's kind of like they probably respond like, oh, yeah, but did you see me in Jag?
Right, exactly. Like, but I mean, to me, it's like it must be the opposite. It's more like so Michael Trucco, who like is the Jin in the fourth one.
Yeah.
He was pretty important on Battlestar Galactica, and I gotta think he's going to these Comic Cons, appearing on like Battlestar panels. There has to be like one person at every con going like, "Hey man, what was up with Wishmaster 4?"
At a Comic-Con? Of course there is. There's probably 300 Jins walking around at a Comic-Con.
Do you think he gets people bringing up DVDs trying to be a wise guy?
Yeah,
Let me sign this.
Oh, you mean like an actual self-aware nerd that's like, I got Wishmaster.
Yeah. Why don't you sign? I waited online for you, Battlestar guy. Why don't you sign Wishmaster 4? I want to do that shit now.
You would do that. I could see that. Yeah. I mean, I hope so. He deserves to have that DVD presented to him.
Yeah. FYI, he's an actor I fucking hate, and I thought he was fine in this.
Yeah, really? Yeah. I thought that the well, we'll get into it, but yeah, it reminds me, when you bring up did people come up and ask people about the Wishmaster if they were in this, despite having other very good careers or good careers. It reminds me of that time I rode the elevator with Gretchen Mol at Barnes and Noble, and I was so stupid. Like she had just done literally had just aired the arc of the story in Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah, sure.
That was like, yeah, I watched all that. I'd seen all that. What do I fucking say to her in the elevator? Guess what I say?
What?
I go, hey, I'm it's Gretchen Mol. She's like, yeah, she's really, really shy, really nice, very beautiful. And I go, I just gotta say, I'm a huge fan of Rounders.
Of course you brought up fucking Rounders, but I'm sure she's proud of Rounders. That's not that bad.
Actually,
it would be worse if you like went up to her and was like, "Hey, remember when you were an It girl?"
Well, her reaction was very funny because it was like she plays a really annoying character in Rounders. Like she's just like a stereotypical annoying girlfriend. It's very little depth to that character. And she said back to me, I'll never forget it. She was like, yeah, that character though, she's not very likable.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah, and I was like, well, I know what you mean, but
you acted like an idiot. Great. It's the reason I don't talk to celebrities anymore. Henry, Gretchen Mol, I can't believe that there could be a character in Rounders that's lacking in depth. That to me, that's very surprising to me, Henry.
She's the only one.
I can't believe that could happen in that movie.
She's the only one, because as you know, John Dahl takes care of the character development in his movies. So
I like Worm. He's cool.
You're goddamn right he is.
All right, Wishmaster 3, Devil's Stone, Beyond the Gates of Hell. We have
the whole thing.
We have a new director for 2 movies in a row, Henry. Something we haven't seen in ages. Well, that's not true. Shekhar Kapoor and Elizabeth. But this is Chris Angel. You might be picturing a fella with long hair, with chest tats, with eyeliner, with
he's the Waker in the fourth one, isn't he? Doesn't he make an appearance to kill the Djinn? Isn't that Chris Angel right there?
No, he's not the mind freak. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Christopher Angel, from Massachusetts, and he looks more like a chubby Jew, possibly. Chubby, nerdy douchebag.
Sure.
Who knows? He graduated from Yale University in 1994, and he directed two of my favorite movies, Wishmaster 3 and Wishmaster 4. Let's see. Has he directed anything else? Do we know?
I didn't look him up because I was looking up all the actors. I didn't take my time for that.
There's fucking nothing, dude. He literally directed a DVD special feature from Dexter. He's an editor. Oh, okay. That's how he makes his bones.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Good for him. Yeah, his editing skills in this are superb.
He works on a lot of DVD extras, Henry. I wonder if his career is hurting these days.
Well, if he works on DVD extras, it's worth seeing which ones he worked on. If he did the extras for like Fight Club,
it wasn't
Seinfeld,
that. I was looking, man. It was like Secondhand Lions.
It'd be great if he was a master at DVD extras, and we found out he did all the
best
Seinfeld
ones.
Extras. Yeah, we're like, oh my god, wow, Chris Angel! I gotta get Chris Angel to do this season 8.
Yeah. Oh, he was responsible for Apocalypse Now redo. Interesting. Okay. The movie was written by Alex Wright. No, I am not talking about the dancing WCW wrestler from the 90s.
Sure.
This fella, Alex Wright, he actually wrote the first 9.5 weeks, which we still have not been able to find.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah,
okay.
so we'll cover him again. But other than that, a lot of Christmas, Hallmark Channel stuff.
That makes so much sense that he wrote a 9.5 weeks installment. So he's probably
softcore porn. He was involved in the softcore porn industry at the time.
Yeah, a lot of Shannon Tweed going on there.
He's definitely met Shannon Tweed.
Yeah.
They had their numbers saved on their first cell phones.
On the big clunky.
Yeah, a nice flip phone. This film was released October 23rd, 2001, because in the wake of 9/11, America needed a gin.
Yep, needed to wish some things away.
Yeah. This movie started it should have started with the gin going like, "Is it okay to scare yet?"
Is it too soon? Is it too soon?
Yeah, and then Wes Craven comes out and goes like, "Wouldn't be the first time," or whatever the fuck. What was that stupid thing on SNL with Rudy Giuliani?
Oh boy, I don't remember.
It was like Lorne Michaels was like, "Can we make people laugh yet?" And Giuliani goes like, "It isn't too late to start," or something like.
What a great man, and what a funny man he is. So you're probably right. Yeah, I vaguely recall that. Yeah, is it too soon to laugh? Yeah.
Beautiful stuff.
Yeah,
beautiful stuff. But I'll tell you, it was not too soon to scare. What an amazing film Wishmaster 3 Beyond the Gates of Hell is. I would love to see the Jinn get involved in world politics.
He'd fit right the fuck in, man. No loss. I'd take him.
Yeah.
I'd take him. I want to see him at the United Nations, man. Just sitting around that big conference table with the headphones.
If there was a Taliban who went to the Jinn and said, "I wish for 100 virgins."
Oh, that would be great.
How do you think he'd turn that on its head?
Well, that's the thing, is that, he keeps going after kind of innocent people in these movies. Let's make a Jinn movie where he just goes after bad guys.
What are you talking about? The last week we covered one where he spends half the movie in prison.
Well, I mean, there's prison and then there's Taliban. Because 100 virgins, that's great. That's a great one, man. You can imagine what he would have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, a field day with that shit.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah. They'd all get their first periods at the same time. That's how he would flip it.
And the guy would drown in blood.
Oh, my God, dude. That's a great gin.
It.
We
That's a
should be
gin.
gins.
I think last week we were. I couldn't speak.
I hope. I know my throat hurt the next day. When we die, Henry. I hope that God, of course, that great old man in the sky.
Yeah.
I hope that we get to visit him on his beautiful ornate throne, and he says, "You are now gins."
Yeah.
That's how that works, right?
Daniel Arenberg and Henry Papali, excommunicated Catholic and Jewish person. Why are you here, first of all? But if you are, what is your idea of paradise?
But I bet he'd give it to us, because most people would say, like, take me to heaven. I want to be around my family, or I want to, I want to just have me time for the rest of eternity, or be on a cloud and be able to watch over my kids or something. But if we got up there and said straight up, first choice, what do you want? We want to be gins.
I'm with you.
I think he'd let us. Henry, let's form a suicide pact.
All right. Right now, and when we get up there, because that's how it works. It'll go according to plan. Just don't chicken out when you see God.
It'll go according to plan, which is more than I can say for all the wishes of the people that are going to be wishing to us.
Yeah, that's for sure. Already we're looking forward to it, right?
That's right. Oh my God.
Are we going to do every wish for people like with a trick? Or
I'm never going to give a wish. They're all going to be flipped.
Okay. All right. So we're essentially going to be afterlife murderers, is what you're saying.
Correct.
I can live with that.
Great. All right, Wishmaster 3, we talked about it, 2001. It starts on a young girl's memory of a massive car wreck which murdered her whole family.
Yeah, it was hard to make out what was going on. The camera work was pretty bad.
Not great. They shot it sort of, using a weird editing technique to, sort of in snapshots.
Confused, especially later on when they're saying that it's her fault. I was like, did I miss something in that opening where it would be her fault?
I didn't know why it was her fault either.
No, it's not your fault. It's not your fault.
This is AJ Cook. People know her from Crim Mines.
Crim Mines. Okay.
Yeah.
All things considered, in this shite-filled trash fire, I didn't think she was too bad.
She was bad. I was surprised how bad she was, because she is like an actor. Like, Criminal Minds was a show that was like on CBS for 15 years.
I didn't feel that way. I didn't think she was good, but in proportion to the other people around her, and especially in any scene with Jason Connery, it wasn't her problem in particular. I think maybe Chris Angel was directing them to like make everything as earnest and emotional as possible. Very earnest.
Yeah, and so like every line is like over delivered, but everybody in the movie is doing that. So I don't want to like pick on her in particular.
No, it's true. Every single person, including the boyfriend, and then who's it? Billy Goat Gruff, the guy, the wacky friend. And
the wacky friend. You know who that was?
Yes,
because of the superhero count, of course. Yeah, but I mean, that was unbelievable. There's this fucking dude in this movie. He's like the best friend or the lead's best friend's boyfriend, basically.
Yeah, in the circle.
Yeah. And it's the fucking baby.
The baby, not the little boy, because that's what I thought at first, and I was like, no.
The baby. I thought it was the little boy also.
No, I think they mean the baby, like who's sent in the, spaceship.
Okay.
Because also even the hair, right? Because he's a blonde. And
yeah.
They could have put a wig on that like 2-year-old, but I think they meant the baby.
Okay. Well, that's not quite as weird. Because I was thinking about how much we talked about the little boy's wiener when we covered Superman the movie.
You talked about it, yes.
How much we did.
You talked about it, right? Yeah,
we discussed it, and yeah. So, but no, the baby's different. Do we even see his penis? We
the
probably do. There's a lot of penises in
I mean, when
Superman
Marlon
the movie.
Brando is holding him up, if you're putting him in that star
Ay,
shit.
Cabena, Anavisiradai. Kal-El.
I take Kal-El, I stick him. He just shit all over my spaceship.
Mm.
Oh, you're gonna be Superman. I can't read that line.
That
What's
sounds
line?
like James Gandolfini, not fucking Marlon Brando. You're doing Tony Soprano.
It's Marlon Brando. Oh, what you want from me?
A-
It's Superman.
AJ Cook plays an aspiring anthropologist, and she's in college, the University of California, and her professor is this ginger train wreck, Jason Connery, and he is pervy. He's established as pervy. He sort of wants to bone his students.
Sure.
But, she reports to him, so she finds the ruby on a recent dig, the classic Wishmaster ruby. Although, Henry, can we discuss something?
Yeah.
I know that it's not Andrew Divoff in these movies, but is it a different djinn?
Oh.
I thought it was.
I didn't. He
seemed to have different techniques.
That's wow.
The whole face ripping, ripping off the face.
He still did that.
He didn't do that in the first two, did he?
Yes, he did. That's how he got his original identities with the boyfriend, and then in the second one with the whoever the fuck it was. Yeah, that's how. No, he got in the first movie. That's how he kills the pseudo boyfriend in the laser diamond lab and rips a face off of a random corpse. And the random corpse
is Andrew Divoff. But
yeah.
Henry, then why in this movie does the Wishmaster, when he's in demon form, why is he like blue?
Oh, I just thought I didn't attribute that to anything except lack of a budget. So that's the makeup they had lying around. Yeah, that's all I thought.
So this is the same. We're tracking the same djinn over 4 movies.
What would be the point of bringing us? I mean, I see what you're saying, but
I don't know. I think in my head, to enjoy the movies more because I missed Andrew Divoff, I had to decide that it was a different djinn.
That makes sense. I mean, but that's really funny because I just didn't. I figured, boy, this guy really sucks compared to Andrew Divoff, and it's too bad he can't play the same character.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, this guy's only doing him in demon form. They've hired actors, different actors in each of these movies to play him when he's human. In this one, it's Jason Connery,
and they got a voice for him too now. I think Divoff did.
Divoff did the djinn voice.
Right, and in this one they've got the same guy doing it's either let me see, right? It's right here. John Novak.
Yeah.
So I assume he's in the makeup, and I'm pretty sure he's also
doing the voice. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas Divoff handled all responsibilities.
That's right. He doesn't need fucking anybody, dude.
No. And Jason Connery.
He's like fucking Mark Wahlberg. He's like, fuck you, new kids. I don't need you. Although he had the Funky Bunch too, so I mean, he's even better than that guy.
Well, Mark Wahlberg wasn't in the New Kids on the Block, so.
But his brother was. That's what I'm saying. He says, I don't need you, new kids.
I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Because Donnie was in the New Kids.
That's right, Donnie Wahlberg.
Right. And
Jordan
KOTB.
Knight.
Jordan Knight. Can you name all 5?
There was one named, I think, Joey.
Yep, Joey McIntyre.
There was one named, I can picture them. I was always proud. No, I'm done. But I was always proud that when they got big, I was at the age where I should have been probably buying that.
Oh, stop it. But they were for girls.
I knew dudes who had.
I didn't know any dudes. I mean, my sister was super into New Kids on the Block, and none of her dude friends liked them.
It was big, man. I remember when they came out, everybody thought that was like the shit to have, and I never bought that, and I never bought Vanilla Ice.
And KOTB, some of their songs hold up.
Like?
The slower ones, like the big pop ones of the time sound like shit today. But I could listen to Please Don't Go Girl.
Yeah, I can't. I liked Milli Vanilli though.
Of course you did.
Didn't buy their record though.
Oh, bummer, dude. Did you see them live? Did you cry when the one killed himself?
I remember that VH1 behind the music. Holy
Sad
shit.
stuff, man. I watched that too.
Why did I even want? Yeah, I was in college when that aired. I remember that shit.
Henry, the Djinn. All right. The Djinn shows up out of the ruby, of course.
Very easily, yeah.
Yeah. He says to the professor, you got to make some wishes here. I'm a genie. Just do it. The professor's like, no, I'm not down with wishes. Then the Djinn, in order to blackmail him, says that he's gonna show up as the dude, as Jason Connery, and pretend that he raped AJ Cook. He does this weird thing where he throws his voice and does both sides of the conversation prior to a rape.
Throw his voice. Yeah, like a ventriloquist. But I thought that was after. Doesn't he? Before he takes over his body, he grants him a wish. Does he not?
Well, that's next. That's next. This is what I'm saying, because he blackmails him with the rape.
Oh, he said, yeah, but he doesn't. That's the stupid part too, because he doesn't say. He says like that he did something in his past, and he imitates some random girl. I don't think it's AJ Cook.
That's right, but he's like, nobody's gonna know about that shit, and he's like, yeah, but I can take it up to the present day. Look at this.
Right.
And then he does the voice. He like throws his voice like, I'm going to rape you. No, don't rape me.
Yeah. It's a good parlor trick. You know, he's a little bit like Beetlejuice in that aspect. Yeah.
I guess or the genie from Aladdin.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking it's a closer point. I was thinking about sort of a demon that can throw his voice, like Beetlejuice literally has a line, learn to throw your voice. Fool your friends, fun at parties.
Well, I was thinking about the part of Aladdin where he takes his mouth off and he sort of holds it to the side.
Yeah, you reference Aladdin. I reference Beetlejuice. That's kind of explains a lot about,
Well, you only reference movies from the 80s, so...
You only reference Disney cartoons from the early 90s.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely constantly referencing Disney cartoons.
The Lion King was important too.
I hate you. So finally, he wishes something. He wishes for the two. I remember the wording kind of.
Oh, all right.
It was like, I wish for the two women I'm most attracted to wanna fuck me and to be here right now.
Yes, in love with, they actually
to be in love with, yeah. And I thought you were gonna see AJ Cook walk in,
yeah,
but I guess he's into like tons of women.
Yeah, it was a little confusing. But that was when I got my first inclination. I believe you did too. That whoa, we're in for a very different type of ride here.
And so was he, dude.
In saunter two naked ladies, and I was a little shocked. I don't know why. And
it was such a wide variety, too. I was thinking, like, this guy, he does not have a type. And good for him. It sort of made me enjoy the character right before he died, because in walks a statuesque black woman with enormous fake boobs.
Yes, they were there.
And quite a diminutive young white lady with very teeny tiny ones.
Yes. Both of them, not very attractive.
I was okay with the white one.
I'm joking. They're both ridiculous. Get out of here. They're wearing those like Indian.
The boobs on the black girl were like so ridiculous. I couldn't even look past them. They looked like fucking balloons.
It's so stupid. I mean, if he would have just said like, I want the two most beautiful women in the world, but he is so specific, so that leaves it so much.
But if it was the two most beautiful women in the world, they would have to like have actresses portraying Catherine Keener and Parker Posey.
Right. Not a lot of lookalikes going on. But yeah, no. But
I don't think they could have gotten the actual actresses for Wishmaster 3.
How are the careers going in 2000? They were fine. They were on the top.
Both were doing all right. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm just thinking, like, instead when he says something like the two women I've been most in love with. So I'm like, who are these people? Did he meet them somewhere?
Listen, I have it figured out. They're not former students. Well, no, maybe the white girl's a former student. The black girl with the big fake boobs, I've got to imagine this is the kind of guy who is such a regular at a strip club that they know his food order. That's how much a regular he is. And this is like his stripper. He comes to see her.
Okay, and he's just never been able to get anywhere with her. Yeah.
Well, she gives him lap dances, and it's something he's been happy with for years. But, I mean, if given a wish, why not use it?
Yeah, absolutely.
But they start like ripping him up, and they just like one of them bites his tongue out of his mouth, and then they start like grabbing his balls and ripping them.
This Jin, this incarnation of the
it doesn't really work as a wish, right? They're not in love with him; they're killing it. He says something stupid like, "Oh, they love you so much they can't let you live." But like, if you think about that for like 2 seconds, like. That doesn't make sense, dude.
No, it's absurd. And
we'd be better Jins.
We would be better Jins. I mean, this guy isn't as good on the clever wordplay, this incarnation of the Jin. And he also just doesn't, like, I'm looking for, like, oh, okay, this will be a creative kill somehow, because really, I don't know what are they going to do? And they really don't do anything. They just fucking maul him and
they rip him apart. They literally just like use their nails and rip them apart.
Yeah. And I was trying to find a caveat in there which would have justified that, but I couldn't. So
Jason Connery collapses to the ground. The Jin uses his nails. Very important to have long fingernails in these movies. And he cuts the guy's face off. It's sort of very like Leatherface.
He is into skin masks.
Yeah.
You're right. He's seen. Silence of the Lambs. I mean, it's 2003. He could watch movies down in his gin lair.
I mean, he probably is, but
he has to get ideas from somewhere for all these tricks he's doing. I like that Hannibal Lecter guy. Maybe I'll.
Oh, come on. He must watch those. He's been doing this for millennia, Henry. He probably watches these movies and he's like, these fucking uncreative pieces of shit. If they only knew the shit I was pulling during the Crusades.
Right. Well, that's a great point. But now that I would attribute that attitude to dive off. I wouldn't. This guy needs all the help he can get. 3 and 4. I mean, because he's out of ideas. But yeah.
Well, but again, that just might be after so many years of doing it. Maybe he never twists a wish the same way twice.
Yeah. Truer words have never been spoken. Yeah. So he gets so this guy's name is Barash, which I thought was a strange name for a white blonde Englishman, but Professor Barash. So he goes on, takes that persona, and thereby then for the rest of the movie, he is a pretty uninteresting Jin.
I disagree. I think he's a great Jin.
You do not.
I actually do. I thought that this Jin worked because he just looks like a fucking horrible... I mean, his horrible Van Dyke beard and his weird ginger hair, and he's like kind of like just like one of these guys that you just want to like backhand in the face. Like, like he's just scum, this guy. And so I thought he worked as a Jin.
Look, man, he's coming off of the predecessor who I had no idea was that good until I watched this, and then he has no investment, Connery, in this. None at all.
It doesn't matter. I think he actually does have investment in that, like, he's trying to have a career. He's trying to get out of being Sean Connery's son and Sean Connery's son only.
So this is how he went about it, huh?
He needed a medicine man, and that medicine man was the Jin.
Well, now he's untouchable, so.
Oh, good stuff. We're on fire. Okay.
Yeah, the producer said, Doctor, no.
Oh, God. Henry Zardoz. So, one time, what happens is, let's set up the friends. There's Katie and Billy And they, they're gonna not make it out of this movie because they're the friends of the main character.
Yeah, and there's a couple of very attractive hangers-on that are flirting with.
No, for sure. We'll get into Anne a little later.
Well, there's Eleanor and there's Anne, and I think there's even one named Melissa. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah.
There's a bunch. There's a bunch around, but let's get into these two, the friends, because I do want to talk about the scene where he eats her pussy in the university common room while somebody's watching MTV.
That's a good one. What's the video that they're watching?
Oh my God, I looked it up. It's some bullshit Canadian thing.
I knew it had to be.
It sounded all right though. Like the songs in these movies are horrible. They definitely just had like a $5 music budget.
Yeah.
But I thought this song, I guess, because it is big enough to at least have had a video.
Well, it's not MTV either. It's Much Music. Remember?
That's a great point. We're in Canada. Even though we're supposed to be in California. I watched the shit out of Much Music, too. And then there was a Much Music...
Satellite cable?
Yeah, just had it on cable.
Right.
Oh, you watched in Toronto, of course.
Yeah, I was living there. I didn't even have MTV.
No, Much Music was fantastic because we started getting it when I was like 12 or something. And MTV at that point had like turned over. Like they weren't really showing videos anymore. And Much Music at that time was like videos all fucking day.
Oh yeah.
And it was great. So I watched the fuck out of Much Music, but then they became Much Music USA, and then they became Fuse, and I was out. There was also this like gothy girl who I was obsessed with at the time, who was like a VJ on there.
On Much Music? Really?
Yeah, I think her name was Julia.
Downtown Julie Brown?
No, not Downtown Julie Brown.
Oh, all right.
No, this was like later in life, Henry. We're talking about like the difference between Hulk Hogan and The Rock.
You know, I remember as a kid, there was a specific street in Toronto. I can't remember the name of the street now. It's a major, major street downtown. And they had a booth that was running 24/7. And you could walk in there anytime you wanted, and you could say something, anything you wanted, and it was on Much Music, and they would throw you right on.
I remember that, yeah.
It was so cool. It was like the neatest thing. You could just walk in there and just say whatever, like, Much Music! And then they'd throw you on there. It was very nice.
Okay, it was a Ukrainian VJ. She went by the name Mistress Julia, and she wore a lot of leather and hosted a heavy metal show, and I was obsessed with her.
Oh, interesting.
So there you go. I found her on the internet.
Okay,
all right,
well
so they're making out in the common room, and this guy comes in to watch TV and doesn't notice them, and he takes off her top, and we get to see her boobs, and then I was expecting it to end with them fucking, but then he just sort of like drops down to go down on her, and then we cut.
Yeah. There's a lot of nudity in these movies.
Yeah. In the fourth one, there was opening credit boobs. That's amazing.
It really was amazing, and I kept thinking when I would see one of these actresses naked, I'd be like, okay, so she agreed in her contract to like show herself like that once, and then when it would happen again, I'd be like, wow, she just figured, I guess, what's
this
the
was
writer
2001, man. There were no contracts.
Wow.
I mean,
it's not 1981. Jesus.
No, but seriously, like at this point, someone like Neve Campbell could say in her contract, like for Scream, like I'm not gonna show my boobs in this movie. But I mean, the people in Wishmaster 3 and 4, I'm sorry, if you get a part in that movie and you agree to be in it, you have to show your boobs as much as the director asks for.
All bets are off.
Yeah.
Sign.
Your boobs are going to be seen as much as Chris Angel wants to be seeing them.
Just sign right there on the dotted line. Yeah. No caveats.
Something else I forgot about the common room pussy eating scene, Henry, is right before they start making out and stuff. Yeah. The dude does an Austin Powers reference. Did you catch that?
Yes. What is the phrase?
He goes, "Oh, behave."
Right. Yes. That, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up. That's what led me to believe that the Jinn watched movies. I confused that. I forgot it. I thought that was the Jinn's
That's
line.
not the Jinn.
Okay, so it's not him watching.
No, that's Baby Superman. I loved it. It's 2001. It's so realistic.
Yeah, I mean, that was.
We were making those refs.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm surprised she didn't respond with "Do I make you horny, baby?"
Right. Yeah, it's true. It's true. They're big on the Austin power. Yeah, it's weird when a movie like this does that, and it takes you. I mean, you're already not very invested, but it takes you out of it, and you're going, "Oh, that's right. We're in 2001. I forgot."
So there's a girl named Anne who's like she's sort of a rival of the leads, and
yeah, she's the TA. You can insert any pun there, listener. She's the new TA, and then there's her friend Eleanor, who is the dark-haired Raven. Yeah, and they're doubly flirting. Like they both like AJ Cook's boyfriend, and they like Professor Barash.
Yeah, for sure. They're like R to G, ready to go. And they but they both die. Let's talk about it. Anne, I'm not familiar with from anything, but I enjoyed her great performance. She says that she wants to go on a diet. That's her wish. This poor girl. First of all, she's beautiful and thin. And the Jinn says, "What do you wish for?" And of all the things, that's the first thing she thinks of. I want to lose some weight. And I'm like, oh God, I know what's happening next. Fucking someone saw thinner.
Me too. Yeah, she vomits up her actual stomach.
That's right.
Great effects. But we were on a very low budget, so we didn't actually get to see the stomach come out of her mouth. It just ended up, quick shot to the floor.
It looked like the scene in Starship Troopers where they're, what are they doing? They dissecting a bug in class at the beginning. Do you remember that?
Vaguely.
That's what it reminded me of.
Okay, all right. Yeah. I'm not watching that again until we cover it.
Okay, well, when we cover it, if you still, after another viewing, are down at a 1, all I want from a Starship Troopers rewatch from you is for you to acknowledge that it's better than a 1.
I feel like that is a distinct possibility. I really do. Because when I watched it originally, was it you that lent it to me, or had I already seen it? I don't remember. But, I'll approach it in a different manner, I think, and I should get some fun out of that. But yeah, so then Eleanor, she says they have this weird scene, the Jin Connery, and her in her dorm room.
Oh, which really doesn't matter at all. Like he shows up at her dorm room to like grab something.
He's looking for AJ Cook.
Oh, he's looking for AJ Cook, and she's not there, and so she just like sends him away, and he leaves. Like that's the whole scene.
Yeah. Well, no.
By the way, fans of 2.5 Men can recognize this girl as Mia, Charlie Sheen's girlfriend for a couple seasons.
Oh, Emmanuelle Vaugier.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Fans of the previously mentioned Secondhand Lions can recognize her as the foreign princess in the great stories of Michael Caine and Robert Duvall.
Oh man, it's a lot of secondhand stories going on in there.
There are tons. That's the whole movie.
You saw it. I'm
twice,
sure, right? Jesus Christ! All right,
it's not good.
Was this somebody's birthday?
It was no. It was recommended to me in high school by a Mormon kid I was friends with. And then I watched it, and I was like, oh, this is exactly the kind of movie that gets recommended by Mormon people.
Was it wholesome?
It was. Yeah. I got to tell you, he grew up with not much of a family, and in his quirky uncles, I think he sort of found a family. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's great. No, that's good. It's Michael Caine and Robert Duvall. I mean,
and Haley Joel, baby.
I'd want Michael Caine as an uncle. I would not want Robert Duvall as an uncle.
Yeah, but there's one scene in the movie where there's a bar fight. Like this dude like razzles Robert Duvall at a bar, and then he just like whips ass. It's the only violence in the entire movie.
Is he like clicking his tongue a lot, like old Robert Duvall
Yeah,
does? Like,
you know.
I can.
Speaking in very clipped dialogue, not really finishing my sentences.
Widows. Yeah. I'd like to reference.
I'd spend no time thinking about this mustache, but here it is on my face.
I never really had any kind. He's like in my category of actors. I just never. I'm sure he's in some.
Great
people's.
actor.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I like him in The Godfather, but what he leads a movie like The Great Santini or
The Apostle.
I mean, the Apostle's all right. He's great when he shows up and leaves, like in Apocalypse Now. That's when I like
Godfather.
Yeah. Well, that's it. That's the main thing for him.
Henry, so this girl, Mia, I mean, that's her 2.5 Men character, but you know what I mean. Eleanor, yeah. She wishes something, and her heart beats out of her chest.
She says, she tries to seduce him, and then he's about to leave, and he says, "Is that what you want?" She goes, "Well, you look like the kind of guy who would break my heart." And he goes, "Well, I can do that." And she goes, "I wish you would break my heart." And then
he does it.
Yeah, we get to see an interior of the arterial coagulant in the particular what's the name for an artery in a heart?
I don't know.
Okay. And then it beats very fast and kind of just explodes.
It's like that gunshot in Three Kings.
Yes, and done with just
as much artistry.
Oh, yeah. God, remember when that happened? That was
mind blowing when it happened.
Oh my God!
I remember I went to see that movie with like my mom or my dad or something, and I remember us like looking at each other like that was something we've never seen before.
Dude, I saw it in theaters too, and I was like, "Oh man, wow, very, very, very cool, excellent camera work, superb."
Yeah, camera work, yeah.
Now it's like nothing.
Digital. All right, let's get back
to.
It
is? They didn't stick a camera in somebody's.
Let's get back to A.J. Cook, the ostensible lead of this film.
Diana.
She's ready to make some wishes. All right, she's the waker. She woke this motherfucker.
Yeah, right.
So first, she wishes to stop the pain, and of Anne, right? Because Anne at this point is like vomiting up her insides.
That's right. She uses her first wish to have her stop. We already know from
but he kills her.
Hours. Yeah, 4.5 hours of watching these already into the 6th.
Oh, the second she says stop the pain, you know exactly what's coming.
You can't say that. You just, these people, I feel like the prior movies, they should have took cliff notes and passed them on, with the jewel.
But I got to say, she put a lot more thought into that second wish, Henry.
Yes.
So much more.
That was cool.
She, of course, invoked the Archangel Gabriel.
Michael? Yeah, it's Michael, not Gabriel.
I thought it was Gabriel. I wrote down Gabriel.
Well, you wrote the wrong thing, so I'm looking at it right here.
All right, well, whatever. And he is going to possess her and become a warrior spirit. But her boyfriend, in a show of great chauvinism, pushes her out of the way and becomes the angel Michael himself.
Yeah.
He's got a very curvy sword. Looks like a snake.
Yes, it does.
Mm-hmm.
When I realized that in the moment that he would be, when she calls the Archangel Michael, I was like, now here's an opportunity to see some supernatural cool shit. But instead, I understand we don't have a lot of money. We're just going to make her boyfriend become Saint Michael.
I thought it was going to be A.J. Cook, like shooting plasma blasts out of her hands at this motherfucker. And instead, it's just this like boring-ass boyfriend walking around with like a really bad sword.
And a deep voice.
Yeah, he's got a deeper voice. They put some effect on it or something.
I'm Saint Michael. I'm Saint Michael. I'm good, not evil, despite my voice. It's not how I expected St. Michael to sound.
No, I mean, I guess I never really put much thought into it, though.
I put a lot. He. By the way, I'm looking at St. Michael's wiki page right now because there's a lot of facts about St. Michael. He's an archangel, and he's a protector of the Jewish people and a guardian of the Catholic Church. So he's kind of got his duties. Yeah, weird, right? Split.
Seems like a conflict of interest, Michael. I say focus on one.
I would agree, especially since the Catholic Church does not have a great record for protecting Jewish people.
Yes, indeed. Let's just stay out of it. Okay. At one point also, we then it's time to kill like the main friends, and they get sort of like uncreative deaths, which disappointed me. The boyfriend gets like impaled on a thing, and the girl.
After he says, "Blow me."
Right, and so he blows him into a horn, and then the girl, I hated this. It was really stupid. He puts her head in a cage of mice.
That was dumb.
But they didn't get like rabid-looking like big rats.
No,
they were like these tiny little like white rats. Field mice.
Yeah. And they just like eat out her eyes.
It looked cute. Like I would love to have my head be put into that cage.
It's just a whole bunch of furry fun.
They're not going to rip your eyes out. They're going to nibble at you at best. Like they'll pull your hair a little bit.
Right. They're going to snuggle with you a little bit. It'll be like
it would be like snuggling.
And I really thought we were going to get into what.
That's actually a good business idea, Henry. A cage where you put your head in and you get snuggled.
Yeah,
you could put them in public.
But there's only enough space for your head. And now I got a better idea. If you want to make it mysterious, you don't tell people what's in the cage.
No, of course, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, be like stick your head in the cage, snuggle experience.
You'll be snuggled by something, whether there's a cat in there. You know what would end up happening is you really have to do a lot of maintenance on these snuggle cages because. What if the animals you have in there dies? You put your head in there, there's just like a dead dog.
Yeah, dead dog. There's going to be a lot of, you're going to have to do a lot of cleaning, too.
That's a great point, Henry. You know what? This is a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, you might want to rethink it, but it's a good thing for Fear Factor. I think that's already a thing in Fear Factor, as I recall.
Yeah, you go in a thing of snakes. That's what you do on that show.
Yeah, that's all there is to it.
You hear about Joe Rogan's $100 million deal to create more podcasts?
Aren't we part of that? Didn't he?
No. Yeah. See, we're toiling away in obscurity, and Joe Rogan is making $100 million doing the exact thing we're doing.
But he's funnier than us. That's the thing.
And smarter.
So I hear all the time from people. How smart he is.
Oh, do people in New Jersey think Joe Rogan is smart?
Yes.
Interesting.
South. Please be specific whenever you say that state. South Jersey. Yes. Let me got news for you, buddy. People all over the country think Joe Rogan.
Yeah, that's why he's making $100 million, and that's why Donald Trump is the president.
That's a great point.
Henry, the lead character, AJ Cook. What's her name again?
Diana. They keep saying Di.
Di, right? Like Princess Di. So she sacrifices herself to kill the djinn. Pretty amazing. The Waker must sacrifice themselves to kill the djinn. But then the Archangel Michael, a.k.a. her boyfriend, cries a single tear, which revives her upon hitting her beautiful skin.
Yes. She does have very beautiful skin.
Great.
She's very, very golden. Yeah. Well, she falls and the djinn grabs her arm. You know, he doesn't want her to. An amazing effect where he's at the other end of the roof. We're at a rooftop climax here, which is fantastic. That's very scenic, downtown Winnipeg, and he zooms like a. It looked like the Flash in comics when they draw the blurry line, and he's like, and catches her, and then what is it? Michael comes up and. No, she takes him down with her.
Yeah.
Michael throws her the sword. She catches it, and then they fall together, and she's dead.
But he cries his
she's
tear.
not. He cries the tears. She comes back to life. Michael goes to heaven, and her and whoever, Beto O'Rourke, they live happily ever.
It's pronounced Beto.
I don't
and
care.
He's cool, man. He swears. Don't talk shit, because he says the fuck word.
Yeah, man. Fucking Beto, man.
Yeah. Hey, did you see that review of the show that gave us shit for cursing too much?
Yes, right before we went on air. I checked Podcast. I can't wait to read it. Yeah, I had no time to really digest
it,
but
great.
I enjoyed it greatly. It's not much of a review.
Well, it is.
Right?
It's a 1-star review.
Yeah, it's great. I sometimes I check it right before we go on air, and I didn't think I'd see anything, and I actually saw 2.
Yeah, there are a couple. All right, what do you give this great movie? I know that's a leading question, but
this is 1 star.
I'm giving it a 3.
You are not.
Yeah.
I don't get it, man. I mean, come on. This is a complete piece of shit. The first one had ambition. The second one had some cleverness. It's still a 1 star, the second one, but those 2 are so much better. Come on. 3 stars for this?
I like the Wishmaster movies.
All right. This was a chore, man. It's 90 minutes.
This is not a chore for me. I like these movies. I wish this is one of the few franchises in recent memory where we're hitting the end, and I want to watch more.
You do.
I think they should reboot the Wishmaster. You could get Divoff back.
Well, that would. I don't have an issue with that. I mean, I'd rather see this rebooted than COTC, but. I mean, these are just dreadful. Dreadful.
You could do it as like an anthology series. Just have like the Wishmaster fuck with a different person every week. It's great. I love the Wishmaster.
I'm
a gin freak.
I think you are. I think you're a true D gin.
Just call me Gin Ricky.
I'm gonna call you D Gin, man, from now on and until eternity.
Oh, we didn't say our names at the beginning of the podcast.
Oh yeah, they don't know who we are. This whole time you've been listening over here to the H-Master, Henry Papali, and on my right, left, center, forward is Daniel Ehrenberg, otherwise known as Djim.
That's right. Who's your MVP?
AJ Cook.
AJ Cook, really?
Yeah, but she's carrying this fucking thing.
I mean, I guess she is.
She is, and she did not cause that wreck. It's very important to point that out to everybody.
She didn't. That wasn't her fault. No. You know what? I'll go with Jason Connery.
He's my LVP.
Not mine.
He's
the boyfriend who's the angel is bad.
I mean, he's really bad, but you can't go from Dive Off to this guy. You can't do it. We've seen this before.
And I did.
I'm very surprised. I thought you were gonna have a lot of fun tearing this guy a new asshole.
Well, I am. I think he's horrible, but I kind of think that works for the movie.
Yeah, I didn't like it. Yeah. So 3-star for you.
Yeah.
Who's your LVP?
The boyfriend. I told you. This guy. The actor's name is Tobias Meller. I've seen him in a couple things. He was in Disturbing Behavior, but like he's a nobody, Canadian. Showed up on Battlestar like everybody in Canada, and not good.
That's a big set, Battlestar Galactica. When anything that films in Canada, they must have the biggest lines to be in extras parts.
It is because it's like it's about like every remaining human.
Right.
Like there are only like 300 remaining humans, so like we do check in with a lot of them.
So at those casting calls, they're just like, slowly go out the door. And we'll come out and film you. We have 3 remaining extra people to come in. Go out. Up there. Go out and about.
Good stuff.
All right, we got some superheroes to do.
I'd love to hear them. We spent minutes of screen time looking at that kid's penis since they premiered the movie. It was unbelievable.
He just loves this topic. Well, now we saw him grow into a man.
we did. It's pretty handsome, actually.
And what a man he became. Yeah, I mean, he's not a bad-looking guy.
No, good-looking dude.
Like bleached blonde guy. All right.
He's bald now in real life. He must have started going bald and shaved it.
Uh-oh. Jason Connery, first superhero. Played a character named Dominic Shanatori.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
Smallville.
Oh, okay. Well, Canada, sure.
Yeah. John Novak, who was the, what was he in here?
He's the Djinn.
He's
You fucking idiot.
Oh, I see what I did here. I got what I did here. Okay, yeah. So he played Supreme Intelligence in the Fantastic Four: World's Greatest Heroes.
Yeah, that's like the king alien, basically.
Okay, wow. And he played Jed McNally / Gary Bergen in Smallville.
Oh wow! Either he must have had two identities, huh?
I would think so. But here's the big one for John Novak, obviously. He played Bolivar Trask in X-Men Evolution.
Oh, the cartoon? I mean, yeah, that's another... He invented the Sentinels.
Okay, right. Well, yeah, we get to see him in a good X-Men movie, Days of Future Past.
That's correct. As Peter Dinklage.
That's correct. Aaron Smolinski, Baby Superman.
Of course.
Baby Fat Superman. Yeah, he's in Superman. He's in Superman 2. And in Superman 3, he's the boy at the photo booth. So they keep him going on this. Yeah.
Yeah,
nice.
They threw him in shit. I think he showed up on Smallville, too. Am I wrong?
I didn't see that credit, but I mean, that's...
I'm almost positive.
Possible. Guess what he did show up in?
Tell me.
Oh, he was a communications officer in the amazing incarnation that is Man of Steel.
Oh, God. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah. He wasn't on Smallville. He was in Man of Steel.
That's right. So you have a great memory from that, which is good. Emmanuel Vaugier, or Vogier, as they probably say over here, who played Eleanor. Eleanor Wellenor, gee, I think you're Swellenor.
Jesus Christ.
That's from the McLaughlin Group parody by Dana Carvey as John McLaughlin.
That's from your life in a bar when a girl told you her name was Eleanor and you know it.
Eleanor, I think I'll swell it all.
I'm sorry, what?
Okay, Emmanuel Vaugier, she played an undisclosed role in the amazing cartoon Ninja Turtles: The Next Mutation.
Sure.
She was also Dr. Helen Bryce in an episode of a recurring role in Smallville.
Looks like all the doctors I've had.
I've had a few pretty good-looking doctors.
Like her?
Okay. Not to that point. And lastly, Sarah Carter, who played Melissa in this. I'm still not sure who exactly she was in this.
I had the same reaction, dude. There's only 18 people on the IMDb page, and she looks like she has like a major role, like she has a headshot. She's been in shit, and I could not figure out who she was.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, anyway, she was Alicia Baker in Smallville.
Mm-hmm.
And this is big. She played, I guess, a villain, I would assume. You'll know this. Grace Gibbons / Cicada 2.
Cicada, Henry. Do you know the word cicada?
I say it as
it's a type
Italian
of bug.
It's a hard C. Cicada. Great. I like cicada, like kukoc.
Yeah, so there was one season of The Flash where Chris Klein was playing a character named Cicada, and then he was so fucking horrible that they killed him off halfway through the season, and they had his daughter like take up the mantle of the cicada, and that was her.
That's probably a good idea.
It was.
Chris Klein. I thought you were a fan.
I sort of am, but he was real, like, impressively bad on that show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can't imagine why.
He was trying to do like sort of a stylized super villain voice, you know, where it's like, I'm me, Cicada, like,
right,
and it's like Chris Klein doing it. It was not good.
All right, that's it.
All right, Wishmaster. Wait, you know, some places you go, you see it Wishmaster 4, the prophecy fulfilled. But I happen to notice that on screen, It is not 4. They took
Yeah.
the number out, and I did not like that. I need consistency with my movie titles.
At least with the titles. Yeah. No, this is just the prophecy fulfilled. Yeah.
Okay, so this was again directed by Chris Angel. It was shot back to back, Henry, with the third one. They only took a weekend between productions.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
They shot Wishmaster 3 in 16 days, took a weekend, and shot Wishmaster: The Prophecy Fulfilled in another 16 days.
Wow. Oh, very impressive, I guess.
I've certainly done my research when it comes to the Wishmaster.
I can tell when you do stuff like this, as opposed to Children of the Corn, where you're just like, all right, let's
You can
record.
tell when I care.
Yeah, I can tell.
Henry, this was written by Mr. John Benjamin Martin. Looks like he's written a lot of really bad-looking TV movies, probably for Canadian television.
Isn't he like the pseudo-patriotic hero of The Patriot? Isn't that Mel Gibson's character, John Benjamin Martin?
I have no idea.
I think it is. I'm just pulling that out, but I think I'm right. John Benjamin Martin. Yeah.
Let's look it up.
Look it up.
The Patriot. You're talking about the Mel Gibson, Roland Emmerich Patriot. His name's Benjamin Martin. I cannot confirm or deny John, but he's definitely Benjamin Martin.
Wow, I'm impressed I remembered that.
I am horrified that you remembered that.
Yeah. No, it's a fun movie.
Hey, it's Roland Emmerich. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
All right. This came out almost exactly a year later on October 22nd, 2002. 9/11, but a distant memory at that point. We had celebrated the 1 year and moved the fuck on, baby.
Yeah, we're fine. We're in Afghanistan at this point. We have not gone to Iraq.
We're spreading freedom.
We're spreading freedom. I think we just took the vote on Iraq, though, so we're about to go there. I remember that very well.
Rummy's doing a great job. Brownie's doing a great job.
We're all doing great jobs.
Yeah.
You got your Cheneys. You got your Rice. You got your Powell. You got your Wolfowitz. Yeah. What a crew.
Yeah.
What a crew.
All-star team, baby.
All-star cabinet.
Yeah. Who's the Russian guy? Ashcroft.
Russian guy.
I like David Cross on Shut Up You Fucking Baby describes John Ashcroft as, can anyone get more Russian?
Oh, okay. I don't remember that. Wow, that's great. Yeah, he's the attorney general at the time who lost to a dead guy when he was running.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. All right. Opening credit boobs. Let's talk about it. I'm excited. We get our new leads. They are some folks you've never heard of.
Right.
Tara Spencer Nairn is the actress.
Yes.
And
yes.
Jason Thompson is the actor.
He is tough to take.
He's
fella.
Pretty bad.
Oh man.
Okay, so they are moving into a new house. How exciting! They're
fixer-upper.
It's a bit of a fixer-upper, but it's a nice house. All right.
Yeah.
And they move in. They take down the sign. It's really exciting. They have some champagne, a little champagne, some bubbly.
They got a cover of like a Diet Gin Blossoms song playing there. It's very good. It's very timely.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, and then it's true. It does sound like that. It's like it's like off-brand Soul Asylum or something.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So they make it to the boudoir, if you know what I mean, and they Get down. What I'm saying is they fuck so hard that they break the bed. And then post-coitus, after he dukes one inside of her, she pulls off the rest of her clothing and lays down across the chaise lounge. And he begins to draw her like one of his French girls.
Yeah, it was a very, very spiritual moment. I was taken in by it. I was again when we see her full on nudity and a thrusting, very vigorous thrusting sex scene. I don't know why. Again, I keep getting surprised. Dan, when is this going to stop? I didn't think I would see this type of scene. And,
Well, we're seeing it.
right away. Yeah.
And I must say, before getting a sense of this actress's acting talent, I am already intrigued by her. I think she's pretty good.
I think before she has any dialogue,
I think she's giving a great performance.
I think she has a presence. You know, she's got something. There's something.
Very few actresses can fill the screen with such a physicality that she does.
I had the same thought, man. When she saunters on the screen, and then
it is a saunter.
You kind of just look at it and you go, "There's a star." Like you have that kind of thing you do, like when the first time you ever watched Robert De Niro, you know, you just kind of like, that guy's going to be big, you know, that's a star.
That's right.
And that's what I felt with her.
Me too. And so when I looked her up on IMDb and found the wealth of Canadian television she's done, I was like, justice.
Was she ever in You Can't Do That on Television?
I don't know about that. But it looks like she was on a show called Corner Gas for 4 or 5 years.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And a procedural on Canadian television called The Listener. That's different from The Mentalist.
I actually hate when I get corner gas. I wish it would just kind of stay in my stomach in the center. You know, corner gas is
I don't like this joke. I don't want to be thinking about your farts that much. Henry, we cut to 3 years later, and already I'm like, uh-oh.
This can't be good. Something happened.
She's coming home from, well, it's interesting.
I don't know what really I can't remember what she does.
Well, first, before we even check in with what's going on with them, the only characters we know 3 years later, we cut to her going to see, I thought it was a coworker at first. Like she was a lawyer and she was working with this other lawyer.
That's what I thought. It's very confusing.
It's bad storytelling. But she, it turns out he, in some sort of an accident, we love accidents, has been paralyzed, the man, and he is in a wheelchair, and they're trying to get some sweet dollar bills from the Canadian government. And their lawyer is this new character played by Michael Trucco. Of course, you know him as Starbuck's husband from Battlestar Galactica, who later turned out to be a Cylon, of course. And you also may remember him. He dated Robin for quite a while on How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, yeah. I knew him. I knew him from something. I thought it was, you know, perhaps I used to watch, I used to binge Will and Grace. I thought that's what he was on.
He never showed up on that, dude. Luke Perry did, but not him.
Or when I was binging The Purge season 4, I knew him from somewhere.
Stop it! There will never be a Purge season 4, and I don't even like you making jokes about it because it makes me hurt.
It's not why you take it as a joke if you want, but
I take it seriously.
I know.
All right, so he's going to turn out to be the Wishmaster, but right now he's just working on behalf of this couple.
Yeah.
But also he's already trying to fuck her.
Yeah, absolutely. He gives her a gift.
And he says to her something like, listen, Wheelie Boy over there, he's been a bit of a downer for the past couple of years, and I just want to let you know I'm here as an option. If, say, instead of going home, you didn't want to hang out with this total bummer who can't even walk himself to the fucking bathroom, you wanted to hang out with, like, a totally hot lawyer type who will give you that good dicking and looks like fucking Patrick Bateman, I'm your man.
Lives in a $19 million mansion with windows everywhere, and I got everything. If you're interested,
did he live there already, or did the djinn move him in there?
I don't think the djinn wasn't around. He was in that house
prior to the djinn being around.
Yeah, that's where he meets her and gives her the.
Oh, you're right. Wait, I thought that was his office.
No, I don't think so. Okay. I think that was his house.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. Listen, the storytelling in this movie, again, not really on point.
Oh, really? Oh, really? It's not as good as
there's plenty of other things to enjoy, but it's a little muddled.
Okay.
All right. So It's a locket, the present. He gives her a locket.
I don't know what it is. It's a big ass locket. If it is, I mean, it's more like a charm box. It's pretty big.
He says that he found it. He found it a couple nights ago on quote one of his all-night web surfing jags.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in that sentence. Jags, yeah. See, I mentioned Jag earlier, and it came up again.
Great point.
I'm trying to understand. At least in the first two movies, we've explored the difficulty of getting this stone. That it's kind of embedded in rock, or
it's everywhere.
No, it's just like.
In the first movie, I feel like they implied that there are like a few of these rubies, and they're like buried at the four corners of the fucking planet.
Now they're on eBay.
He's finding them on fucking eBay.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Amazon Prime shipping. And he gets her this thing. I love that the description, wherever he got it, didn't mention, oh, by the way, there is an opal in here, a ruby the size of a fist.
The guy who sold it might not have known, because you remember it was closed pretty tight, and then there was some sort of a struggle where they dropped it, and then it opened up, and that ruby bounced out.
So the guy who sold it was just like, some sucker will buy this stupid.
The ruby looks so shitty, by the way. It looks so fucking plastic, like something you'd find in like a supermarket like quarter machine at the front.
It looked like candy. What's the candy? The
ring pop. It does look like a fucking ring pop. You're right.
Ring pop. Yeah. But it's powerful. And it falls on the floor, and she's instantly hypnotized by it. But we don't do a lot of that in this movie. There's not a lot of staring into the stone and the waker being.
Oh, that's true. Like in the previous movies, like they were constantly haunted by dreams of the djinn, and we really only see this like right away when she first finds the ruby in this one.
And it's kind of over. She takes a real long time. Lisa does to
figure out what's going on.
Long time. Actually, till the end of the movie. Yeah.
True. So she goes home to her boyfriend. He's in the wheelchair. It was a motorcycle accident. I wrote that down. He is pissed. He is an alcoholic now, Henry. You know that because he is drinking tequila from the bottle, something no alcoholic has ever done. And he is also on his computer, his desktop computer, looking at internet pornography right in front of his girlfriend.
Yeah, so this is an example, I would think, where a man goes through a very traumatic injury. He's
Breaking Bad.
Yeah, he has an amazing, beautiful, caring girlfriend who sticks with him through it, and
she's really got something.
She's a presence, and he is just. Like Ron Kovic in Born on the 4th of July, man. He is just inconsolable, wretched, mean, nasty, and I'm just thinking, just fucking leave this guy. I thought that in the first scene, man. And she just takes his abuse and punishment. It's like, I don't know, man.
I feel the same way, man. I don't care that you're paralyzed. Like, it's not okay. She's waiting on you hand and foot, motherfucker. Yeah. This is the time where you take stock of life and you think you're happy to be alive after this motorcycle crash.
And you're not alone.
This beautiful poor woman's ass is still willing to, like, hang around and, like, wait on you and suck your dick? Is his dick working? Do we know?
I don't believe it is.
Oh, it's not?
No, that's the point. He can't have
that's
sex
right.
anymore,
Yeah.
Which he doesn't say in any sort of veiled way. He literally just says,
I can't even get boners anymore, motherfucker. Right.
But for some reason, like you said, instead of looking at the beauty he has at home, he is interested in the pornography he can find on those amazing fake websites we see in movies.
Especially like 2002 internet pornography. Like, oh my God. How long are you waiting for those fucking thumbnails to load?
Well, I know. I was just going to ask you, what was the last movie where we saw fake porn sites? It wasn't American Pie. It was another horror movie. What was the horror movie where we saw...
Are you sure it wasn't American Pie?
There was a horror film franchise we covered recently where there's in a dorm room and they're looking up porn.
Maybe a Texas Chainsaw?
Could have been. No. It's an important memory.
Is there internet porn in Lone Wolf and Cub?
anything can happen. I know the Jinn was around in that era.
It's a great point. How about that? That's what we need, Jinn through the eras. Let's do a period piece Jinn movie.
Lone Wolf and Cub, the three wishes of the Jinn.
Oh.
Yeah.
I just came.
I knew he was just going to say that. I was just going to say Dan has achieved climax. Yeah.
All right. Let's keep going. The Jinn.
Let's focus. Yeah.
The Jinn's going to go ahead and take this lawyer dude's face, as he does these days. And so he does that. Then we cut back to the house, Henry. We're going back and forth at this point.
Yeah.
The boyfriend I remember this now. He sees her in the shower. We get another nude scene.
She's naked again.
Yeah.
Folks.
She's naked again. She comes out of the shower pretty slow to grab the towel. And sees this creep sitting there in his wheelchair staring at her, and she's like, she grabs the towel, and then she realized she shouldn't have done that. She should have let him stare. He's pervy now.
And they're a couple.
Yeah, so she comes downstairs in a teddy, baby.
Yeah.
Teddies are weird. Has a girl ever put on lingerie to seduce you?
I can't answer that on
Why
air.
not?
That's it's a private matter. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's not. Come on. Look, when I was maybe 21, 22, I had a girlfriend, and it was like towards the end of the relationship, like things were petering out, and we weren't having as much sex anymore, and she bought some lingerie, Henry.
Yeah, sure.
And she comes in wearing this lingerie, and she did look hot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she looked totally hot.
Yeah.
But in the back of my mind, all I'm doing is picturing her having a conversation with her friends. Like, we're not having sex anymore. What should I do? Maybe try some lingerie. And then maybe she, went to a store and tried some on and sent them pictures on her phone. And they were like, you look hot in that one, girl. And then...
This is all going in your mind.
That's all I'm thinking about while we're fucking.
The thought process of her purchase.
Yes.
And then your mind is like, I wonder if she used a debit card.
No.
I didn't know if she had all this money. Lingerie is expensive.
We spend a lot of time together. When did she do this?
Yeah, when did she do this? And then you finished, and then you were like...
and, I was like, that was amazing. You looked incredible. I was trying to be as supportive as possible. But there was, like, sort of a weird sadness to it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I get it. Yeah, I mean, lingerie is a lovely thing. It's a great thing.
Did you have a similar experience, or did you love it when someone tried it on for you?
All right, fine. I'm a fan of lingerie. I don't feel that way. Yeah.
Okay, ladies, you heard it here first.
You son of a bitch.
Slide into that email with your classic lingerie pics. Okay.
What kind of guy is going to say, no, I don't like lingerie? Come on.
Me. I like a natural look. I don't want makeup. I don't want lingerie. I want you to have fucking pit hair. I want you to be grody. I kind of want a little B.O.
Okay. All right. So if there's any hobbits out there, Dan is interested in Planet Cleeclop. No, you didn't like it because of the forced nature of the encounter, and that I understand.
It's not that it was forced. It's just that I saw right through it. Like, I knew what was happening and why instantly.
Right through the lingerie? Right through the lingerie? I get it. No, I wouldn't be into that either. That'd be tough. Yeah. It's a natural occurring thing, sure. Okay,
next up. The Jinn...
I'm wearing a teddy right now. Does that disgust you or make you happy?
You know we have video on, Henry. I can see you. You're currently vaping and wearing a backwards cap.
No, it's actually a beanie. But yeah.
It is? You're wearing a beanie right now?
My hair is so long.
Is it? Does it look like when I first met you?
I mean, look. It's
I see it
it's
sticking out of the beanie.
it's insane, man. I can't.
Take off the hat for a second.
What's that?
Take off the hat for a second. I want to see it. I mean, this isn't interesting for anybody. It's kind of matted down. I can't tell.
Yeah, the back is woo, baby. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go get my haircut though. I heard it's safe.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
everything's safe, Henry. Go nuts.
All right, so I'm gonna go get.
Coronavirus is over.
Like totally everywhere?
No, it's totally over. You don't have to worry about coronavirus anymore.
It's done.
And you're white, so you don't even have to be worried about being murdered by the police. So, have fun. Go nuts. Go for a haircut. Sure.
I'm gonna go for a couple haircuts, and then I'm gonna go to the beach and walk around the boardwalk.
Definitely.
That sounds
just
great.
Spitting everywhere.
Spitting everywhere.
Yeah.
I have a spittoon, so I don't need that. Okay.
All right. What are we going to talk about? The waitress. What did I write about a waitress?
A waitress. Oh yeah. I wish someone would kiss me like that. That's a weird one because then there's really no death. She just gets kind of mauled, and the director.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
The director's really weird because he has all the guys come up to her and give her like actual kisses.
Yes.
And then, as if out of some sort of weird homophobia, the women come up to her, but they just give her like a peck on the cheek.
It is so weird because specifically the wish is I wish I could be kissed like that, which is this big mauling makeout sesh.
Right,
and then like all these dudes come up and kiss her, but like the women, like it's a fucking Skinamax movie basically. Like have a big lesbian kiss scene. That's fine.
Strange. Very, very strange. It's almost like don't do it at all. Because when it happened, I was like, "Oh, they're putting women in there too." But
you're right. It's not a terrible idea. It's just like super badly staged.
But keep it as men if that's what you're going to do. And the women are like, they walk by. You can even see the extras in there. They're just kind of like, "Oh,
it's awkward."
It's my turn. Okay.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Okay, so meanwhile, the main girl is getting closer and closer to our pal the Djinn, and she really likes him, and she's considering leaving her wheelie boy for him.
That's right. She wishes for first. Let's go through the wishes. She wishes for the case to be won. So the Djinn gets a real nice death for the guy on the phone, the lawyer.
Oh, hold your tongue, he says.
Hold your tongue, cut your nose, stab.
Oh, yeah, right. He says, "You're cutting off your nose to spite your face."
If that was how it was delivered, that might have been nice, but it was more like, "You're cutting off your nose to spite your face." And
the Djinn looks weird, man. This actor they got to play him, it's like he's got too many facial lines or something. It was like fucking J.K. Simmons in a Djinn suit.
He reminded me a little bit of, again, the movie Legend with Tim Curry. And he also reminded me of Emperor Palpatine a bit.
A little Emperor Palpatine in there. He also sort of reminded me of when they replaced Pinhead with a second actor.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But the makeup's great. You can see the rubber and the sweat they're spraying on him in the moment. So he kills that lawyer. That's her wish. They get $10 million. Then she wishes for him to walk again. He walks again.
Yep. No more paralysis.
And then she wishes to know who the Djinn really is, who Steven really is. And then that's a problem.
No. That's not exactly what happens. Okay. They're on a date, basically. Her and the Djinn. And I love this movie. Is just like the Djinn in love.
Yeah.
And so they're on this date, and they're really enjoying each other's company. Like the Djinn thinks she's super charming, and she says like the Djinn is like a much more comforting, there for her guy than her boyfriend. And so he goes into the kitchen to grab something. The Djinn has to prepare hors d'oeuvres too. Obviously. And she says to herself, yes. "I wish I can love him for who he is." Weird thing to say to yourself, but, it worked for the plot. And so he hears it in the kitchen with his jinn super hearing that we didn't know he had.
Right. He never has before. He can't hear a fucking thing, this guy. So, yeah.
And so, but it's a bit of a paradox, Henry, because the jinn is actually a great man. I know we've seen him kill hundreds of people at this point. But not only does he not believe in rape, even though I'm pretty sure he has definitely made girls get raped before, he says that he doesn't believe in the concept of forced love. And
that reminded me of Aladdin.
What?
Remember?
Oh,
Robert
right.
Says, there are a few things I can't give you, and one of them is to make someone fall in love with you.
But that's bullshit, because in the last movie, that one dude was like, I wish those two beautiful women would fall in love with me, and he did it.
Yeah, he didn't. I mean, they just killed him, and it was more lust. But I see your point. But this was different because it was actually him.
I know.
So had to fall in love with.
He says that in order to grant the wish, she has to actually fall in love with him. So then, like, the whole second half of this movie is just like the jinn trying to seduce this. Yeah, courting. He's courting this woman.
And also, something happened that I was kind of wishing it happened in the first or second one, but when it happened here, I knew it would suck because it was too late. It was the fourth movie, and we had no money. And that was when he says, you've made your third wish. The gate. Then in my brain, I was like, oh my God, the gates of hell are going to open, and all the jinn are freed. So I was like, oh, some effects are going to happen where we're going to see the community.
Well, we did.
Jinn. We did. Oh, we did. We sure did. And we saw like 3 or 4.
Standing
apart.
in some fire.
I was kind of picturing more of an apocalyptic 4 horsemen, the world on fire type thing, but it was in a closet.
I was okay with
it. It was like 6 feet wide. You know, that was the end of the world. 6 feet of fire.
It didn't bother me.
And they're like, "Hurry up! We need to take over the world."
Well,
what are you waiting
to
for?
be honest, they're absolutely right in their discernment, because this jinn, the whole point of him like trying to collect these souls or whatever,
That's right.
is to release the jinns from their purgatory. It's an entire race of beings, supposedly.
That's right.
So you've got to think, I mean, after all these years, there's probably still at least like 100 evil genies out there.
I think more. I mean, if they're going to rule the earth, yeah, they're getting him. They're tired of waiting. So it's like he gets this close, and they're just like, "Hurry it up!"
And he's gotten this woman, the Waker, to give to 2 wishes. He's already taken care of them, and she's even made a 3rd wish. And this dude's dragging his fucking feet because he's trying to legitimately get her to fall in love with him. Like, dude, have some. If I was the other jinns, I'd be standing behind that fire giving suggestions. Like, here's a way around the paradox.
Well, that's the thing. They're not. I gotta say, on his behalf, they're not particularly helpful. I mean, they're kind of just like a peanut.
They're just
gallery
nags. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I get it. Like, if you don't have constructive criticism for me, just stay quiet. Because, I need help here.
But I understand that they're frustrated, man. They're like, dude,
No, I do
just
too.
fucking get it over with, Jin.
So he goes to a strip club. No, he goes to Tracy, right? The African American friend who's an astrologer.
Oh yeah, I liked her. Yeah, they work in sort of a clothing boutique store. It reminded me a lot of the store that Leslie Mann and Megan Fox work in This Is 40.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Yeah. And he goes to her for basically sexual advice, which not only does he not take. I mean, she tells him, and then she just says, "Oh, I wish someone would give me some killer sex." So then I'm expecting some sort of, is the Jinn a eunuch? Is
no,
he a eunuch?
We see him fuck her later.
I forgot about that. Right. Okay.
How could you forget about that? There's a Jinn sex scene in this movie.
It's huge. No, it's huge. Because I was thinking of my thought in the moment when he's with Tracy, and I thought he was going to give it to her, and they were going to have a good time. But instead, he gives her like a masturbatory.
Yeah, he makes her come virtually.
And then
the way we've all been doing lately.
Right. And then he breaks her neck. I mean, I don't even show you how he kills her. She
comes to death.
Yeah. So probably the best death that one could hope for from a Jinn.
I guess
right?
so, yeah.
I mean, you die in the state of orgasm. That's not bad.
Yeah, I guess you'd get dehydrated to death.
He could have left her some Deer Park there, some Poland
Great
Spring.
point, dude. Deer Park, that's your go-to water.
No, I don't even like it. I just see it everywhere. I don't drink that. I'm a Poland Spring guy.
Sure, Ben. All right, what happens next? He goes to the strip club, of course, and
Great.
there is a gorgeous stripper on stage dancing her ass off to a song that's approximating the kind of song you've heard in strip clubs. And he sidles up to the bar. The bartender is like drooling over the stripper. You gotta. It must be his first day, because I feel like strip club bartenders are probably pretty jaded by what these women look like naked.
They're inured at that point, and this guy literally says something that I thought was going to turn into some horrific sequence, and it turns into nothing.
I loved it though.
Yeah, but it didn't turn into anything.
But it's great.
You mean what he says is great?
The whole thing. So he says, do you remember?
Yeah.
Say it.
Do I wish? Yeah, I wish I could be nothing but a pimple on her ass.
Yeah, specifically he says, I'd sell my soul just to be a pimple on her ass. And then
it was some terrible thing.
Well, what we should have done, and what I imagine it was in the script, like they should have, because we see a zoom. What happens after that? Like he says, I sell my soul to be a pimple on her ass, and then like the camera just does like a weird fast zoom into her butt.
Yeah.
And then he disappears from behind the bar. So it's implied like, oh, he's a fucking pimple on her butt now. But what we should have done is having like just do a close up of a pimple on a butt. Mm-hmm. And then do a voiceover with him going like, help me, like The Fly. That would have been great.
Yeah, I thought either that was going to happen, or I thought that her body would start to like decompose, or the pimple would be like become like 6 feet. That's what I really thought was going to happen. Like her whole act would be tanked, and but nothing happens to her. She's fine.
She doesn't even notice. I guess. I mean, ultimately, what's going to happen to her is like later that night, she's going to have an itch on her butt. She's going to go to scratch it. She's going to feel a pimple and not realize that it's the bartender.
And he's dead.
And then she's going to try to pop it, and that's going to kill him.
Yeah, she's going to put some Clearasil on there, and his big wish is gone. Just in his soul is history. He got to be on there.
Maybe
for
he
like
enjoys it though. We don't know. He said he wanted to be a pimple on her ass, so maybe like he likes it for a second.
Right, for us.
He has a good afternoon, and then he dies.
And then he dies. Yeah. So then the djinn tries to touch her. That's a no-no. And the bouncer, wearing a great leisure suit, tells him, we're going to step outside. And that's when the second dumbest fight in all 4 movies happened. The first being one we forgot, which is with the Chris Angel lookalike having a sword and tree branch fight.
Was that in the last one? No, that's in this one, dude.
Yeah.
Well, we have to introduce the hunter.
The hunter, yeah. That's a good actor right there.
He's the LVP of this movie. He's
bad. Fantastic. He's fantastic.
He shows up and he's basically like working on the side of good, but instead of like trying to kill the djinn or whatever and working with like this girl, he knows that she has awoken the djinn, and so like he knows to end this, he can just kill her. Right. So that's what he's doing. Like she's sort of the main character of the movie is being chased by this Lorenzo Lamas lookalike with a sword.
There you go. And he does decapitate in the boutique the short little lady who tries to pepper spray him.
That is true.
Yeah. So they have a great fight out in the middle of a patch of woods where they're really running low on ideas. So the djinn is fighting with the tree branch. I mean, this is a point in the movie, I got to say. When the branch gets picked up, I'm like, this is the what am I watching type moment where I had. I really have other stuff to do.
Oh, I'm the reverse. When he grabbed that branch, I was like, this is why I watch movies. I mean, honestly, that is just like the best thing I can hope for doing this podcast.
I knew it would be great for the show. I just, like a lot of things, I wish I didn't have to live it.
I didn't even bring up the fact that the stripper is doing like fire tricks in the middle of the day.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
She's very talented. She has a second job. She moonlights as a circus performer. So that's pretty cool.
Well, it's sort of like those like sexy burlesque people that like also do the Coney Island strip, like the freak show.
Right.
There's like a sword swallower and like a snake lady.
She does both. She like swallows fire marshmallow sticks. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Tiki torches. She swallows tiki torches. Yeah.
All right. So ultimately, the djinn has a run-in with the paralyzed guy at the strip club and tells him, I'm going to go ahead and be your new lady's lover. I mean, your old lady's lover. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he kills or sends him away or something.
He leaves. You mean the cripple?
Yeah, but the cripple. He disappears though. Like
No. He taunts him, says, I know what your lady feels like. I've touched her. I know you want to hit me. Why don't you hit me? And he's like, I'm going to do it on my terms. And he just walks out. And then the djinn grabs the stripper and the bouncer comes up and him and the bouncer go outside and have a great fight in an alley. Reminiscent, obviously, of They Live. And,
yes.
And that doesn't go well for the bouncer.
That's the best fight scene in movie history. They Live.
I can't really argue with that. I mean, but I really want to watch that again.
It's number one.
That's how long is that fight scene? It's like 15 or 16 minutes at least.
It's really long.
It's great. It's so good. That's Keith David and Rowdy.
You better believe it. My two favorite actors, Keith David and Roddy Piper.
Keith David's also a great PBS narrator. But anyway.
Okay, the djinn fucks her. Let's get to it. It is dynamite. She is on top. First of all, she is the aggressor in this djinn sex scene. Because once she comes home and she sees this paralyzed guy gone, she's like, well, fucking fine. This lawyer's been all over me. Let me just go ahead, tell him I'm all in, and let me fuck this dude. And so she does, and she fucking does, bro. She gets on top. She's boning the shit out of him. The djinn is doing weird stuff. Some, like, djinn hands reach out from behind her and touch her on the shoulder. She doesn't notice. No. We see the entirety of the sex scene. She is loving every second of it. She can't shut up about how good this sex is. He comes inside of her. I'm wondering what djinn cum looks like. That's all I'm thinking about.
I wasn't thinking of that. I was thinking djinn baby.
Great point. See, that's dynamite. See, why didn't they make Wishmaster 5 the seed of djinn?
Well, that's what I thought was going on there. I was like, oh, well, now there's going to be a djinn baby. And instead, we're probably just going to get a gin and tonic.
Oh, my God. All right.
I've been waiting, by the way, 2 episodes.
I'm sure you have. So, I mean, what happens? She how does she realize that he's the djinn?
Because he says immediately, like, aren't we... Now you love me, right? Like,
that's right. And she's like, well, I loved the way you made me feel.
Right. And she's like, that's not how love works, djinn.
But, I mean, she's right. Like, the djinn's really jumping the gun here. Like, he has seduction capabilities, but then he's coming on real strong, sounding like Jon Favreau on the answering machine at the end of the night.
Yeah. He is being the guy, because oddly, when they finish, she says, oh, now I'm waiting for you to tell me to get out. And he's like, why would I do that? Quite the contrary. I'm completely in love with you, and obviously you love me.
Yeah,
you're in love with me, right?
The djinn is such a clingy little bitch, man.
And then she's like, oh, whoa, put the brakes on there, Genie. What is it with you? Why are you this way? And then he's like,
okay, I guess the facade's done. Come with me to my underworld. Yeah.
I How great would it have been if, while they were screwing, the three Jin musketeers show up in the 6 feet of fire, and they're just
They
like,
did.
No,
what do you
the
think those hands
show up.
were?
Yeah, no, but like to comment on it as it's going on.
Oh, like they're fucking Statler and Waldorf?
Yeah. I wish he'd hurry up already. 3,000 years. My God, man.
I wish he'd finish already. Oh, has he started?
We've never done this before. Have you done it before? With Cleopatra once, but it was a very long time ago. Yes.
All right. So then it's sort of a fucking downer ending, bro. The paralyzed dude shows up to save her. And the Jinn stabs him through the heart with a sword, as you do.
Yes.
And then they time it to perfection. He is still standing with a sword through his heart.
Pretty good.
And the Jinn moves in for a sweet kiss because he is still just like aching to bone this lady.
He is smitten.
He's so smitten, dude. And then she just like gives him a soft push because that works. You can definitely... She has the ability to push the Jinn.
The Jinn is only about 30 pounds wet, so it makes sense.
The sword sticking through her boyfriend's body impales the Jinn, and they both end up on there like some skewers, like shish kebab.
A shish kebabian.
Yeah.
Well, shish kebab. It's Middle Eastern.
Oh, or that big. You know the one I'm talking about, the Grey's Anatomy episode.
Oh yeah.
Where they're impaled together with Christina Ricci from season 2.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the same episode with the bomb guy. The
bomb guy.
You know what I'm talking about? Kyle Chandler plays like the head of the bomb squad because there's a bomb. Oh, that's what it is. There's a bomb in someone's heart, and Meredith has her hand on it, and she can't move her hand from inside this dude.
Okay. Right.
They've got to deactivate the bomb. But then Kyle Chandler fucking blows up, dude. But don't even worry about it, because a couple seasons later, he shows up in a dream sequence.
That was intense, Dan. He got very excited.
Such a great... It's maybe the best episode of Grey's Anatomy.
He went right into my face there physically and was just so excited. It was his eyes lit up, a little bit blue because of the reflection of the mic. It was great. Yeah.
Okay, so it ends with the Jinn and the boyfriend dead, and she's just like, well, I guess I gotta start over my whole life.
2 birds with 1 stone. Yeah, I thought the boyfriend would live because that's kind of been the pattern.
Yeah. The main girl and the main guy, they've been surviving all of these movies. But
given the boyfriend's reprehensible behavior towards her, I wasn't exactly mourning his loss.
He's also the weakest actor in the movie.
Well, he's my LVP.
Yeah, what's his name?
Jason Thompson.
Yeah, he's my LVP too. And
I
guess the MVP, if I must, has to be the great, what's her name, Nairn? Something Nairn?
That's right. It's a Nairn. She's a Nairn.
Tara Spencer Nairn.
She's got a presence, like we said. She shows up very much like AJ Cook.
I still prefer Holly Fields from Wishmaster 2. Evil Never Dies.
That was a whole thing right there with
I'm thinking I found her on Instagram, started following her, obviously. And I'm genuinely, because she seems like she's not really working that much. Like she's just like a retired actress who does voice work now.
You're going to invite her on the show?
I am going to invite her on the show, and I feel like she might say yes.
Do it. I'll have to listen to that episode, make sure I didn't say anything bad about her.
I feel like you were okay. You joked a little bit.
I think she's wonderful. So Holly Fields will be a great addition to our show.
I think so.
That'd be great, man. Reach out to her.
I'll reach out to Holly. We're on first name terms.
I'm sure that her agent's resume's on IMDb for easy access.
All right.
Or on Amazon Prime.
What do you give this movie?
Let me think. I did have to dig deep into the brain vault on this one. The neurons were firing. Oh, it's a 1.
You're such a little shitheel. This is a 2.
It's a fucking 1, man. Get real. All right, now I can't wait because we got rankings to do.
All right, let's do them. Wait, we didn't say MVP. We agreed on MVP and LVP?
Yeah, Lisa is the
Okay.
Nairn.
Is there a superhero count?
Yes, there is a quick one. There's a just two. Michael Trucco.
Right, he's the Battlestar guy who was the Djinn.
That's right. And he is he plays Adam Strange in Young Justice Invasion.
I love that character. How exciting.
I don't know that character.
It's good. He's, anytime there's like DC space shit, he'll show up. I've recommended. No, not related to that at all. I enjoyed the 52 series, that weekly series they did for a year. I think I've recommended it to you.
52.
What?
The new 52?
No, they did that afterwards. This is just called 52. It was a 52-issue miniseries that came out once a week for an entire year.
Oh,
and
okay.
Adam Strange is good, well used in that series, I think.
Okay.
All right, what next?
Victor Webster, who played the beloved Hunter in this.
Horrible. Wait, you know what? He's my LVP. I think he's worse than the boyfriend.
You had said that.
Yeah.
And you kind of.
I changed my mind.
Fine. Well, you know what? He was in a lot of stuff. He had a good career. He was in Bringing Down the House. He was in Baywatch. He was in Sex and the City.
All my favorite things.
But he played Brennan Mulray, and I thought you'd be proud of me for catching this because my eyes glossed over it, and then I was like, oh, that's something. In Mutant X for 66 episodes.
Well, it aired in syndication in Canada. They left it out there. And all right. What was the character's name?
Brennan Mulray.
I do not recall that person, but whatever.
I imagine not. Yeah.
I'm looking him up now. Yeah, he's been in a ton of shit.
Because he's a good actor, dude.
I guess. Hey, I'll tell you, he's in some of these Hallmark Christmas movies. I think he's continued to work with Chris Angel.
Oh,
he's in Scorpion King 4, so we'll check him out there at some point, and Scorpion King 3. Henry.
Yes, we'll get to that for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, I got news for you. He was on a TV show I watched called Harper's Island, playing a character named, you guessed it, Hunter.
That's perfect.
That's his bread and butter, baby.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, let's move on. What do we got? Ranking.
Sorry, we just got a joint text from our buddy Aaron. So
I got that hours ago, Henry.
I did too, but there's another one. There's another one now.
All right, so the old rankaroo for Wishmaster. How do you want to do it? Worst to best or best to worst?
Worst to best.
Worst to best. Let's hear it. What's the worst Wishmaster movie, Henry?
Number 4.
I'm going to agree.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Right. I'm thinking of your ratings. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. That's right. So number 4, we both agree, is the worst Wishmaster movie.
Even though it's an excellent film.
Right. Obviously. Number 3, the third best, second worst, is Wishmaster 3.
Okay. I'm going to say it is the original Wishmaster.
Not a fan of the original movies.
It's good. They're all great. Oh, you mean in various franchises? Well, I do think there are certain sacred cow first movies and franchises that I don't think are actually good.
No, I'm with you. I mean, I've done the same exact thing. I think I did it on Nightmare on Elm Street. I think I did it on Friday the 13th.
I think it is inarguable that Lethal Weapon 2 is better than Lethal Weapon. I am sorry.
I disagree, but Lethal Weapon 2 is superb. So it's a tough. It's an easy argument to make. I agree.
Right. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Second best. What is it?
Number 2, Wishmaster 2.
Okay, and I'm gonna go with Wishmaster 3: Beyond the Gates of Hell.
Yeah, and the best Wishmaster movie, also which got a 2-star rating from me, is the original Wishmaster, which now looks like a fucking masterpiece.
Well, it's definitely the best made of them.
The best made
by a lot.
Original. It's the most original. It's got the.
I don't think it is the most original. I think the most original is my favorite, Evil Never Dies, Wishmaster 2. Great film.
Yeah. I just think the effort and love that went into the first one by what's-his-face was never topped.
Wes?
No. The director, what's his name?
I don't
We gotta
fucking
give him
remember.
He was the guy. He only had something to do with the first movie, and then he dropped ship. He was out.
Robert Kurtzman
Yeah,
and Peter Atkins, the writer.
Yeah. I mean, after that, it was all uphill for you.
Correct.
Downhill for me. Yeah.
Okay, Henry.